man. So I think next year, the silver lining once again, it's the injuries. But here we go. This is Brad Holmes on Jared Goff.
I think the guy's in his prime. He's gotten better and better every year. And when I say prime, I think like just entering it. It's because he keeps ascending. I think like every single year we've been here, it's the next year has been, man, he's playing that, you know, and the levels keep improving. So again, I just have a lot of faith in Dan, and I know that he'll make sure that Jared's gonna be in a good position.
We all said it, and I'm not any different than you guys. He's a statue, okay?
Yeah.
But he's a good statue if you protect him. If you protect him, he's going to pick you apart, just like Braylon said. If you put any pressure on him at all, and the O-line's not having a good day, and Graham Glasgow was a shell of himself the last couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
He's
and
hurt.
Taylor Decker.
He did great for us up till then, but he's probably gets out of bed slower than I get out of bed right now. If you don't protect Goff, then he's not the guy for you. Everybody that's playing in this game that makes it to this time is a mobile quarterback. And I'm not saying you have to be Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham. I'm just telling you, you got to be able to move and slide. Matthew Stafford moves and slides. Tom Brady moved and slid. He doesn't. He trips on his feet. He's awkward unless you give him 100% protection. And that's what you got. Now, can you live with that? I guess to a point, until you meet a team like the Eagles, where their best against your best, they're going to win 50% of the time. You're going to win 50% of the time. So in that 50% of the time that you're winning, you better make hay.
Hey.
That's all I got to say. And you know what? You signed Teddy Bridgewater to a one-game deal. Does that mean Hendon Hooker is not your backup?
No.
If he's
I think they just did it for playoff experience. You don't want to put a rookie in that situation.
then why do that all year then?
Right.
And then why do what?
Why just have the rookie all year then? Why not just have a backup that you could trust all year?
Well, they
'Cause
trusted Teddy. He was coaching.
If Goff went down in week 12, you got nobody but Hooker.
Well, I think if he goes down during the season, it's more, all right, it's your up. All right, cool. We have time to get this thing going. We have time to get you to up to snuff or where you want to be. You get to the playoffs, it's very different. You get to the playoffs, you get to the second round of playoffs, the divisional round. Just think about, they had to play Teddy Bridgewater. Like, he threw a pass that got a first down. They scored a touchdown when Teddy was in there. Teddy been in that situation before. Teddy's a veteran quarterback, so it was like a Chad Henne situation for Patrick Mahomes. If you put Hendon Hooker in that very situation, you're limited.
What do we know about Hooker? What will we ever know about Hooker?
You might not.
Because Goff is your quarterback.
Yeah, you might not at this point because he is Jared Goff's backup. And maybe at the time they drafted him, there were other considerations. But after the 2023 season, he is the backup. So we may never know what Hendon Hooker is, but I don't think it's from a lack of ability or anything. I just think that, you know, he's worked his way to the spot, and Goff is the guy, $53 million, like you said.
At least not in a Lions uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not in the Lions uniform. I mean, unless I won't even go there. Maz, let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial. On the fly, time Maz away. Would you rather, in honor of Ryan Ermanni? I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I got 8 good ones.
All right, let's hear them.
I got 8 good ones.
Go around the room.
All right, here we go. For the playoff game against the Commanders, you could have had one of these players back from the past. Would you rather Ndamukong Suh or Calvin Johnson?
Oh, I like this one.
I start with Anson.
Sue. I mean, if the defense is fully healthy, I'm going Megatron. But no. Ndamukong Suh in the middle of that line would have been a big bonus for us.
KG.
Easy money. Ndamukong Suh. Sue and DJ Reader in the middle together. Oh, my God.
Where you going?
Yeah. I think you stand a lot better of a chance having those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom?
I ain't turning down the Hall of Famer. I'll put Calvin
Okay.
on the field. I'm not turning down Megatron.
Yeah.
Just think what he would do. We only scored 31. We might have scored 61 had we had Calvin Johnson. Who cares about the defense?
St. Brown, J-Mo, Megatron.
I got a good argument for that.
That's scary.
Yikes.
That's scary.
That's the first one to go with Calvin Johnson. Pete, It's on you, man.
I would take Ndamukong Suh because obviously we know, Tom, that Calvin cannot complete a process of a catch. So I think I'm going to have to go with the guy who basically made me buy Subway for 2 straight years was Ndamukong Suh with those commercials. So I'll go with Suh. He can stomp on any of my opponents any day.
I could have put Calvin in the secondary too. Played him at safety.
They would have used him that day.
Yeah.
I think it's a slam dunk with Suh just based off what the Lions needed defensively. I think Suh would have been a player that could help most. But at the same time, Calvin provides a much wider range into some of those passes that were overthrown. Maybe they're not overthrown.
No, that's a
Maybe
fact.
they're not overthrown. But I'm going to go with Ndamukong Suh.
It's rare that Braylon does not choose a receiver, by the way.
There you go.
That's a good point.
And
Should have said, you want to bring back Barry Sanders? No, okay.
The running back was fine.
It was.
The running back was fine. All right, here we go. Do you want Jalen Hurts to win the Super Bowl? Would you rather Jalen Hurts? He'll be the first quarterback in the wild to win, kind of like the managerial style quarterback, or do you want to see Patrick Mahomes go for a three-peat? I think also too with the Jalen Hurts, it's the story. Really, do you get the story of a guy winning the Super Bowl, what he's been through the national championship, blah, blah, blah. He's able to write his own history. Yeah. Jalen Hurts rewriting history or Patrick Mahomes rewriting history? Tom Masway, I start with you.
Mahomes has already written history. He's made it. No team has made it this far.
No one's
going
ever
for a
won 3 in a row.
No team has gone this far trying for a three-peat. 49ers were the closest, and the Giants beat them in 91. This one, he's already got it. Give me Jalen Hurts. I believe a guy that gets benched in the national championship game comes back here in the Super Bowl. What was he, a second-round pick? Second-round pick. Does the best with his money. Remember we talked about how when he gets paid, what he does with his money, takes care of his family, puts 90% of it away for his future. Hey, I like this guy. I do like him. I like Jalen Hurts.
Peace Buyback, what are you doing?
I like the way that Jalen Hurts looks on the field. I love his presence. I think he's such a strong freaking player, but I got to go with the guy who's a proven champion over and over again. No offense to Jalen Hurts, but Patrick Mahomes has those weird skills. He plays well hurt. I've never seen a football player in NFL history play as good hurt as he does. I think he even gets better when he has those ankle injuries and stuff like that. He thinks more about the past. So I'm going to go with the guy who has the referees on his side and the titles on his side, Bray.
Answer. Where you going with, man?
There's 105 guys in that game that I could care less about.
This is true.
And then there's Saquon Barkley. And since his quarterback is Jalen Hurts, I am pulling for them. I would love to see Taylor Swift cry at the end of the Super Bowl.
You mean fake cry?
Right, because it ain't a real relationship.
Got it.
We all know that.
Great, God, Tom. Welcome to the conspiracy world.
No, I'm not buying it.
This is an easy one for me. I am going with the brother, Jalen Hurts. I want to see Jalen win. I think he has a great story. It'd be good to see Black win the Super Bowl.
They're both brothers.
Absolutely, but you know Mahomes half black.
Mahomes.
They're both black quarterbacks.
Jalen Hurts is a brother.
Mahomes is not called a white
Jalen
quarterback.
Hurts is a brother. Nobody called Patrick Mahomes black.
He's
Stop
not
being light skinned, man.
No one's ever called Mahomes white. Ever.
Except his wife.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, Jalen Hurts is a brother wearing Kangos like Samuel L. Jackson.
That's
Stop
a fact.
with a gold hoop
That's a
like
fact.
Michael Jordan. I'm going with Jalen
But
Hurts.
I almost wish you had said Saquon to answer this point because no offense to Jalen Hurts, I like Jalen Hurts. And
It's more so about Saquon.
Yeah. Because at one point Philly didn't even want Jalen Hurts, so for him to be Super Bowls, competing in 2 Super Bowls, that's cool. I just like seeing
Neither
greatness.
did Alabama.
Yeah, I know. I like seeing greatness, man. And Mahomes, until somebody dethrones that man,
That's right.
you got to give it up.
I mean, it is dope to live in there and say you saw it happen and blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
man. Same with Brady. I was a big Brady fan. I like seeing
I'm going
greatness.
Jalen Hurts. I'm going Jalen.
That's how you know he not gonna win because he a full on brother.
He wasn't going to win nowhere. He didn't stand a chance. He put that Kango on. They was like,
Yeah,
we can't let him win.
It was over with.
We can't let him win. All right, here we go. Maz, I start with you. Would you want your hometown to win the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals and the World Series in the same season? What would you rather?
Oh, wow.
The Lions win or The Pistons and the
Tigers.
Tigers win.
Wow.
Ooh.
That hurts.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
that's a good one.
That's tough.
That hurts, man.
That's a good one.
I think it's easy though.
It's the Lions.
Yeah, that's.
It's the Lions.
We've seen it everywhere else but the Lions.
It's the Lions.
Literally, we've seen it everywhere else. It's Lions.
I know, but 2 championships versus 1. But the Lions they're equal to they're equal to 100 championships.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a football town, Bray.
This
you
is
know
true.
This. You know this.
Pete, you're
Brett.
on the clock. What would you do, Pete? You get 2 for the price of 1. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, because I'm going to go with the Lions because the Super Bowl parade is going to give you 2 for 1. I'll tell you what, that Super Bowl parade ain't going to be like any other Super Bowl parade.
That shit.
You'll have
These
people
Super
flying
Bowl
in for
parades
that.
that we see all the time, they last for like 5-6 hours with the parade down the main street. Wow, that's great, la la la. This one, if the Lions ever win the Super Bowl, you got people coming from all over the world saying, "I'm here for my dead grandmother. I'm here for my dead grandfather. I'm here for my dead father. What have you?" That Super Bowl parade would be 2-1, so I'll take the Lions. And the NFL's king, boys and girls, so we go with the NFL until somebody else proves me wrong.
That leaves you, Anson Wells.
Now, see, I'll take a finals championship over pretty much everything
Because I know who you
because
are. The Detroit Heckler.
What I'm talking about,
Shout out
but-
to that Spider Sally
I
shirt,
know,
by the
right?
way.
Yeah,
I should have
dude.
been said something.
I used to fit in this.
I used to shovel his snow, man. I got
So
stories.
Schmeat pause.
You know,
Extra medium.
I am all about
medium.
the finals and the Pistons and getting to
Smidge.
number 4 and trying to catch up with those, to be the number 3 all-time NBA team behind the Lakers and the Celtics. But what a Super Bowl would mean to the Detroit Lions, to the fan base here and abroad, to this city and this state as a whole. You guys talked about it, all the people that have passed, like my grandfather saying, you'll understand one day. There's so much pain over this Lions team for so many decades. And we're fast approaching a century of failure and pain over this team that I'd have to go with the Lions. I don't even really need the Tigers in there as much as I love them to make this, harder, because it's already hard to take a championship away from the Pistons, my boys. But listen, this whole city, this whole fan base, we need it, man.
Let
need
me
a Super
up it
Bowl.
for you.
I already know
I'm
what
gonna
Lions
up it.
is. Yeah.
Lions Super Bowl or Tigers World Series, Pistons NBA Championship, Red Wings Stanley Cup Championship.
Still
Doesn't
Lions.
change anything.
Yeah,
3
it's
versus
still
1.
Lions.
Still
Doesn't
Lions.
change anything.
At least I saw the Tigers get to a World Series a couple times. Like, I could at least say that.
You
but
didn't see
it's
him
Lions.
win, though.
Yeah, that's true. But
Like,
I've
you
seen the
didn't see 'em
Pistons
win?
win.
He's
I've
like, I
seen
know
the
they
Wings
have,
win.
though.
Like, everybody's excited about Super Bowl, and you should be. Football is king. You get a chance to see 2 parades in the same year. You're talking about being downtown on
I just
Woodward.
upped it to
But
3.
Bray, that's
but
your,
but I don't need an extra, man.
Bray,
I created the question because 2 for 1, 3 for 1. I'm going 3. It makes no sense.
I feel you, but
2
this-
for 1. I'm still going 2 for 1. I get a chance to see a parade in June and turn around and see another parade in November.
But
You get to ride a year of success from 2 franchises in the same city.
I hear you, but you don't know the pain that we've
I
been.
do know the pain. I'm born and raised.
No, I know that, but you still knew in your Lions fandom. While you was in the league, we went through
I saw
so
you
much
idiots from afar.
heartbreak. I feel, but you need to be here. You needed to be here to
Well,
understand.
that's what it was back then. And you know I ain't lying.
No,
Real
no, but a Lions Super Bowl supersedes all of that. Like, that is like 4 championships at once.
I'm about the city. Two championships in the city. You talking about 7 days, 2 weeks, 4 weeks essentially for 2.
True.
Money in the city.
True.
The revenue shares. I'm
But
going
think
with
of
2
what the
championships.
Cubs did for Chicago once they finally got over the 100-year hump.
And
that
everybody's
they did.
forgotten about it ever since.
I wouldn't say that, but
I wouldn't
Like,
trade one.
Chicago-
I wouldn't trade one Pistons championship for a Lions Super Bowl. I'll tell you that. Not one of them.
04 can go.
Not one of them. So for me, adding in the other 2 teams, I get it, and I
can
love my
trade one.
city.
Yeah,
I know
04 can go.
the millions of
Okay.
dollars we lost, not just hosting another playoff game here, having a series, a World Series here, having a Stanley Cup here, knowing that the Lions went to a Super Bowl in another city that got paid for it. I'm thinking about it now, and if it's June and I got to look at my Pistons in a final saying, well, they lose this, but you get to win the Super Bowl, I don't know, man.
You a diehard
I'm-
Pistons
I'm
fan. That's
basketball
biased.
first.
It's a biased answer.
All right, I like it. So that one puts you a little bit.
That's uncomfortable. It's It's an
It is,
uncomfortable
yeah.
question, Bray.
I think, and for me, I think it's easier for me because, like you said, I'm not a Lions fan like my whole life.
Yeah.
I was a Pistons
Right.
and Tigers fan. Though.
While you was in the league, we getting our back kicked in
One-
every goddamn year.
So would you trade one of those
I'm just
championships
saying.
for a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Which one?
You talking like KG said. I mean, I guess you could say you get one in the 80s so that you still beat Kobe and Shaq in 04. But it's something about being back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving up those back-to-backs,
Yeah, I'm not
and I'm
giving-
not
yeah.
gonna.